Welcome in today to Blood Moon Oracle. Happy Thursday. I hope you guys are well. We're on the latter half of the week, so I hope this week has gone good for you. It's been a pretty busy week, but very fulfilling. Yeah, lots of things that I have to be thankful for. I hope you can say the same. Today we're delving into energy through the Sacred Rebels deck. As I look, sometimes I just look through, I have quite a few oracle decks and tarot decks to choose from, and I just kind of allow what draws me whenever I get ready to sit down to do a reading. This one really stood out to me today. Sacred Rebels Oracle. And it feels like a time that we're in where we really have to dig deep. That may be digging deep to find the encouragement that you need to move forward, to continue moving and to carry on. That may be the energy that you need to stand up, with the situation that's happening within your life today. It could be the situation that you need to dig deep within yourself to find the treasures that lie within, to find the gifts and the purpose in life, to find even as I'm looking at this particular deck, it really gives me the energy of ancestry, right? Even digging deep to find out more about your purpose and who you are and why you're here, maybe even to find some understanding around what you're going through right now. What's the purpose behind it? What lessons are you learning, and how does that connect with your overall experience here? And so that's why I chose this deck. It is by Alana Fairchild, and very unique and authentic deck here. I'm also pulling from my Tarot of Oppositions. It's a very deep, soulful, introspective oracle deck with this combination of the Tarot of Oppositions. I do have my White Sage Tarot for clarifications, and then if time allows, y'all know I'm long-winded, right? But if time allows, I'll go ahead and pull some oracle decks with my Wisdom of Hidden Realms at the end. So let's see. I'm going to go ahead and pull some oracle cards. Yeah. Interestingly enough, that card comes out, the card that's demonstrated on the top of the deck, which demonstrates a level of ancestry, right? It shows the bloodline. That particular card comes out for you. Okay, like, share, comment, subscribe. Where's my manners? My name is Leticia, and it is such a pleasure to come and share with you, the message today. I don't take it lightly. My name is Leticia, by the way. The channel is Blood Moon Oracle. Like, share, comment if these messages resonate. If you receive something out of the message, maybe something that you were feeling already, or maybe a message that you needed just to go to the next step, to take it a step further, to get the encouragement you need to stand up for something that you believe in, or stand against something that, whatever the case is. Like, share, comment, subscribe if you feel led, and hit the bell if you want to stay connected for future posts. Okay. And so, as I stated, that card does come out. Interestingly, there's something about this that drew me. So for you, this could be about your legacy. I was hearing that when I was trying to get out the words around what drew me. Maybe it's something about your legacy, being concerned about your legacy, what you will be able to pass on, or what will be remembered when it comes to what you've done with your time here. This could also be about what has been passed down to you, the legacy of light. And it is a number 7, which is always a message of deep, introspective, spiritual energy. for me with this number 7. I also have, what do you feel? What do you feel? This could be a moment of making very deep decisions where you may be required to go within and not just decide from the head, right? It's not just deciding from maybe your experience, not just deciding from what you see or what you're thinking, but this requires a deeper introspection. And it is a number 9. This could be introducing new experiences, opportunities to step into new energy, new timelines, new choices. So what do you feel? Spirit is asking for you to dive deep within your heart space to find that answer. And then lastly, we have inspiration, which is a number 3, which is all about creativity. As we can see, all around her crown is just a lush array of flowers and bees, worker bees that's pollinating. There's just so much. And then there's the light. There's so much going on in the crown. You could be in a time in life where there's just so many things happening right now when it comes to you being able to create and inspire. I just feel an array, like a lush garden of opportunity all around you. I do want to start with this number 7, though. So we have 9, 7, and 3. Those numbers could be significant for you. So as I look at the number 7, the legacy of light, right? This particular card is really asking you to honor this energy of legacy, this energy of what has been handed down to you, this energy of what comes with your birthright. Okay, what comes with your birthright? As you can see, we have the progression of the bloodline, the oldest at the top, and then the next generation, and then we have the child at the bottom. There's like this progression of the bloodline that's being displayed here. Maybe even what's being handed down is very much connected. And there's something about that connection that shows that there's like something being passed down, nourishment, support, and just all of this energy that's being passed down from those that have come before you, your ancestral lines, your bloodlines, that is intertwined with the spirit within you, around you, supporting you. This could be you being connected with your ancestors, inspired by your ancestors, motivated by your ancestors, and kind of encouraging you to push forward in this energy. When we look at the sacred rebel, this is you being able to believe in what is in your heart, you being able to believe in yourself, and they're supporting you. I feel like is what Spirit is saying. There's a legacy of light all around you. And this is past energy that's coming in to illuminate this light. And the more that you acknowledge that, the more that you bear this legacy, the more that you will be supported as you move into the future. A lot of people don't understand, and it could be because of what we've learned and some of the different taboos that has been created within society, but we don't understand the vast support, the vast power that lies in our ancestry. It's not something that has just been passed on and gone, but it's very much alive today within us, around us. It is a very present energy that's available to us. And Spirit is saying that right now, that there is so much that's available to you when it comes to wisdom, when it comes to creativity, when it comes to this radical courage and love and respect that has been culminated from generation to generation. And here you are, the recipient of that. Do you know your birthright? Do you know what's been handed down to you? Because whatever that is has been refined, and that is what is intended to shine through you so that you might illuminate that out into the world, just like the sun, right? Illuminates what should be seen in this very radiant, unapologetic way. You are being called to do that as well. So you may be someone that needs some sort of confirmation right now around some choice, maybe a creative choice. We do have inspiration out here. And what do you feel? It almost feels like you're in between, or you're before some type of dilemma or choice that you're being made, or that you have made, or you will soon need to make. And this choice will be one that is in alignment with your purpose, whatever that is, with your spiritual path, that aligns with your healing, that aligns with growth that is available to you. And this is something that you won't be able to ignore. You won't be able to ignore it, because this is directly correlated to your well-being. So to ignore this choice, to ignore this that is coming towards you, would be a detriment to your well-being. You won't be able to ignore this, okay? For those of you that may have been asking a particular question, this card may in fact be part of the answer to that question. And that may be correlated to your spiritual growth as well, okay? It has some connection with your birthright and you being able to allow that to be illuminated. I don't know if you could be someone that needs to trust more, or you just need to be still and know, right, that all is well. Maybe you need to ask for the help that you are needing right now, and not only ask, but know that it will be received. Know that you deserve to receive the help, okay? But there's something here with this card where you are being asked to call on this unconditional love and support that's available to you, that is available to you in the manner of assistance, to call on it. And I almost feel like, it's the energy of someone that could be just, have you ever been really, really hungry? And I like to say, when I'm really hungry, my stomach is touching my back. That's how hungry I am. But it's almost like the energy of starving and not being able, or not having the means to acquire food. And so, but at the same time, being provided a feast right before you. Like, you don't have the means to acquire it. However, there's like a whole smorgasbord right in front of you that's been provided for you. All you have to do is ask. That's the energy I'm getting. Someone is parched. Someone is hungry. Someone's stomach is touching their back. And you don't have the means to acquire it for yourself. However, it has already been provided to you. All you have to do is ask for it, right? That's the energy I'm getting with this card. Legacy of light. It's yours. It's your birthright. Do you know that? Now, when we look at this other energy that's coming out along with this one, all of these may resonate. One may resonate, right? But there's something that Spirit wants to relay through the oracle messages here. What do you feel is the second card coming out here? What do you feel right now? Are you just all in your head and trying to crank out an answer or the right move? Or are you able to drop down into your heart and feel what the next move should be? I feel like there should be a balance between the head and heart. We don't want to be so emotionally driven that we lose all sense of common sense, right? There's a balance, but there's something about this where Spirit is asking you to trust your heart. Not necessarily just to allow yourself to be all emotionally driven, but Spirit is pointing to the energy and the wisdom of the heart here. Like, what is it that you feel? Again, going back to some type of choice that you will be, either you are considering now, you will be considering, or you have already considered. There's possibly, she's holding an apple and an orange, right? There's like choices that you have, maybe even opinions that you have been given, opinions all around you that may be influencing or distracting you from your truth. I feel like it is absolutely beneficial. There's a saying that there is wisdom in having a multitude of counselors. That means to surround yourself with wise people. But at the same time, there's also the understanding that the most beneficial thing is to understand your own wisdom. You can consider the thoughts of others, but at the end of the day, it all comes down to having your own sense of wisdom, right? Because you are the one that has to actually live out those decisions that you make. And then understanding how unique and wise you are for whoever you are. Do you know that? How unique you are, how special you are, how divinely chosen you are to walk on the path that you're walking right now, that you're living, that you have created. It's only for you. I feel like this card is letting you know that. And though we can source our decisions we can outsource them to kind of pull in information and the opinions of others. Sometimes making other people the source of our decision making can have negative repercussions sometimes. I feel like we don't see that sometimes until we see the fruit of those decisions. And I don't know you. I don't know your story. I don't know who you are. I'm just speaking through the energy that's coming up right now. And so if it resonates, take it, okay? Because Spirit is speaking here. I don't know if there was some decision you made in the past that, landed you in a difficult place. But Spirit is bringing that energy back over to you. Like, what do you feel? Not to say that it's not good to get the opinions and to ask for, especially when you're surrounded by wise people, but there's something about Spirit bringing this back to your court. Like, what do you feel? Spirit is asking you. This is something that Spirit wants you to really take to heart and to take responsibility and accountability for, whatever this is. Because this oracle is really about being able to understand the importance of being stuck in this thinking process, this logical thinking process, overthinking, over logic, over thinking. Yeah, basically overthinking. And it's almost like not to overthink something, Spirit is saying. I almost feel like this could be someone that wants to be a perfectionist, or maybe you are a perfectionist, but Spirit is like, it's okay to make mistakes. You are allowed to make mistakes. You're even allowed to venture down the wrong path, to find that it's the wrong path and have the option to turn around and, get back on the right path. That's okay. How many times have we done that? I know I have, to the point where I'm just like, okay, let's just see where this goes. And if it's not right, I will know. I trust myself enough to know. Not only that, this might also be part of the experience I need when I get to the right path, right? And so don't overthink it. I feel like Spirit is saying, trust what you feel. Trust your decision-making process. Even if it's not the right choice, you could always change your approach later on if you need to. I feel like someone's overthinking a decision, but it's not as big of a deal as you're making it out to be. Spirit will always find a way to guide you back to on the right track if need be. And you don't have to be perfect. Know that. I don't know who that's for. You do not have to be perfect. As a matter of fact, there is rarely the case where we will ever have to make a perfect choice. We're never being called to be perfect, but we're more along the lines being called to honor our heart. Even more than taking on advice from others, right? We take that in, but then we kind of consider that while we're honoring our own heart and our own decisions. And sometimes it's only after making the choice and being able to see through hindsight whether or not that was the right choice. But something about Spirit wanting us to rely on the wisdom that we have with where we are right now. That's what you need. Okay. That's what Spirit is saying. What do you feel? There's no need to punish or traumatize yourself. Just honor your heart. That's all Spirit is asking right now. That's the right decision. And It's almost like someone might be stuck because they're unable to make a decision. They want to make the right decision. They're afraid of making the wrong decision. They're not sure. And so they're stuck in place. So Spirit is like, scratch that. Just honor your heart and move. At least you're moving forward. At least things are being set in motion. And there's something about bringing about healing or stimulating some creative juices that's needed right now so that you will feel more inspired with life right now, more energized, and to procure, I'm hearing that word, to procure a more enjoyable approach to life right now. I feel like someone just needs a little rev up. You know, sometimes you get to like the latter half of the day and you're like, okay, I have just utilized all my energy. And so you go and get you a little something just to rev up your energy for the rest of the day. That's what someone needs right now in life. And it's not based on anyone else's feelings. This is all about you. Okay. All about you. So ask yourself, what is it that I feel right now? And honor that. Okay. Just allow yourself to go there. I feel like someone's at a crossroads right now in their journey. And this is a time to allow yourself to be free, right? Simplify things when it comes to choosing. Maybe allow yourself to do things a little bit differently. Bring in some new energy, right? That's what I feel like Spirit is wanting for you. And don't dramatize. Don't make it a big dramatic scene. Just make it really simple. Like with your decisions. Just make it simple. It can get really magical when you do that. Believe me. The last one we have is inspiration. I love this one. Yeah, there's something about creativity coming in here. Growth. Some type of idea that may have captured your attention right now, or it will very soon. There's something like this that may be coming towards you. It could be this big, giant, grand idea or vision, or it could just be something vague, a sense that you get, a vague sense, or, something like that. Whatever it is, I feel like this comes in to encourage you to accept it, to honor it, and to allow yourself to even entertain it. This idea, this inspiration is very important to your spiritual growth, to your creativity. All of these cards is talking about that, the energy of being open to your creative flow or to get your creative juices flowing. I almost feel like there's just this new hunger for energy, for new energy, right? And Spirit is letting you know with this card that it is a positive word. It is possible. I see lots of bees in this picture. And I feel like bees do represent healing. They represent work, of course. They represent this energy of medicine and wisdom, nature bringing some form of assistance, right? I feel like that's what this is saying to this idea. It's almost like everything is coming together, the support that you need, what has already been invested in you, right? To bring that to fruition so that it can blossom and bloom. When we look at the bee, that's a very powerful spirit totem. We look at the bee is a very beautiful, powerful creature next to the ant, right? Can do amazing things. We have this very small little insect with very little wings, and the wings are very small in proportion to their bodies, but they move very fast, right? They move very fast and they do huge things. They travel many miles to pollinate all of these flowers and then to bring back, the pollen back to the hive for the queen, like very significant creatures when it comes to nature. But this speaks to maybe the idea that you have, even if it seems like this big, giant task. And It may seem like something very difficult to fulfill or even to get started, to get off the ground, to get up and running, let alone to be able to think of what would be needed to cause it to succeed, right? But I feel like these B's are significant because it talks about the help that you'll receive, the help that you're attracting to you, and how you are being supported here right now, where you are with this project, this idea, or it could be some type of vision that you have yet to entertain. Because whatever this is, as we were talking about the bees, how they have this huge significance when it comes to nature, I feel like whatever this is also something that will be beneficial for the greater good, as well as your own growth and your own development as well. Yeah. You have a lot of support. I'm feeling that here when I look at these bees. You have a lot of support coming towards you to help you with this cause, whatever it is. So Spirit wants you to be confident, okay? Yeah. Be enthusiastic. Be in the energy of expectation of things like, miracles, magic, or just synchronicities that will come up to let you know Spirit sees you. Even people that will come into your life, situations and opportunities that will fall into place to help you bring your inspiration into reality. And I'm hearing tools that you'll be given to make the process easier. Yeah. There's some idea that will have the potential to flower, to bloom into much more than you could ever expect. As I look at this garden of flowers just pouring out of her crown chakra, it's beautiful. And it's just flowing up right to the top of the page here. And in the middle there's this light, which represents like the idea being brought to light. Which talks about the great potential that lies within that idea. This could possibly be something that could feed and nourish others as well that are on their creative and healing path. I'm getting the energy of mission and just lots of ideas just culminating together, right? It's such a beautiful thing that I'm feeling. It is connected, I feel like, to source. So it's almost like tapping into your divine genius. Spirit may be giving you these ideas to bring to life, right? Spirit may be using you as a conduit to bring these ideas to life. You're like a human channel for Spirit. All you have to do is be open and receptive and trust and be enthusiastic about what is coming through. I feel like everything that's required will be naturally attracted to you through support. And you will be successful with the project, whatever this is that's being brought to you, being passed through you. It's almost like everything will happen in divine timing. This could have something to do with healing, a healing process, you manifesting support you need for your inspiration to be, lifted off of the ground or to be manifested to take flight. So you're some type of vehicle of inspiration. You are meant to really think and do things differently. That's what I'm getting. Yeah, you're some type of conduit. So we have legacy of light. What do you feel? Trusting yourself, trusting what has been handed down to you. And then in the background, just coming back to legacy of light, there's like light codes. I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to post these in my thumbnail so that you can see these cards a little bit clearer. In the back here, there's all kind of light codes, right? Ancient codes awakening within you. Wow. So let's get some tarot. See what comes out here. First of all, who is this for, Spirit? All right, we have the Six of Pentacles on the light side. Of course, this is definitely the energy that I'm getting. When we look at the Six of Pentacles, this is about you having all of this support, right? Six of Pentacles is equal give and take. It's a very balanced energy. And it could say that you are receiving all of this resources. Pentacles are practical energy. Maybe even appreciation and gratitude, generosity from others, a multiplication of material goods or support, this energy of prosperity. This also talks about you being able to detach yourself from the effort of your works by actually entering into the energy of gratitude, right? So there's something about expectation here for you that Spirit may be calling you to sit in the energy of expectation, or maybe you already are. Maybe that is what this message is calling you to. Six of Pentacles is your energy, receiving all of the support that you need right now, having this sense of maybe even favor with those around you that's able to give and support in some type of way. Six of Pentacles is you receiving back everything that you put out. It's a very balanced energy. So Spirit is just reiterating what we just talked about. You are divinely supported. Then we have the Two of Wands. Now the Two of Wands comes out on the shadow side. And it talks about you actually enduring situations where difficulties, you have actually had lots of situations where you endured difficulties. That may be why you stand in this energy of strength today. Yeah. You preparing yourself for better. And preparing yourself to meet the challenges, right? I almost feel like Spirit is saying what is meant for you is meant for you, but there will be some elbow grease you'll need to put into this. Don't think that you won't have to fight for what it is that's yours, right? That's why we have the Sacred Rebels Oracle, because there's this energy, and then we're talking about the Oppositions Tarot. There's this energy I'm feeling today of having to swim against the current, having to go against the grain, but it feels like naturally something that you will need to do for what it is that is called of you, right? This is on your path. And so it's almost like the energy or situation where something could be owed to you, but that doesn't mean that you're not going to encounter obstacles around it, right? Something could very well have your name on it. Well, it doesn't mean that it's going to come without challenge, okay? This is a time for you to lighten your load. For some of you in work and emotions, and allow yourself to be freer. So whatever is not necessary right now, I feel like Spirit is asking you to, and you could already be doing this, eliminating things that are not necessary. With the Two of Wands on the shadow side. The opportunity is the Ten of Pentacles. This is your legacy. Claiming your legacy. Yep. Claiming your legacy. I almost feel like this is very practical. So far we have Pentacles out here and we have Wands. So it's very practical energy, stable energy with the Pentacles. Coming to the end, when we look at the Ten of Pentacles, there's an ending coming to your struggle, Spirit is saying. There's an opportunity for you to put an end to your struggles as you have experienced up to this point, and to be rewarded after putting in effort. Like whatever it is that you have worked for, you will in fact reap the benefits of it. I feel like the Ten of Pentacles brings in lots of affluence, lots of pleasure, um, you being able to partake and benefit and enjoy that which you love and that which you have earned. Not only that, this is maintenance of that, not just experiencing it, but being able to maintain that. It's almost like whatever you consider to be paradise or heaven, right? Whoever that would be with, and whatever that would be, whatever that would look like, right? The Ten of Pentacles could also talk about new adventures awaiting you that will bring in comfort and security, more enjoyment than anything you've ever imagined. Ten of Pentacles. This is legacy. Okay. Not only for you, but we're talking about for those coming after you. Remember, we're talking about the bloodline flowing forward. So this is something very practical here that we're talking about. It's not an idea, but the idea is bringing in this practicality, how you can experience life here moving forward. I feel like this has been very difficult getting to this point here. It's been very difficult. And that difficulty has come in the form of others. Others have made this difficult. It could have been that you've experienced lots of disappointment, lots of treachery. I'm hearing treason, lots of just nasty energy, backstabbing energy. You may have even suffered a loss with, your finances. You've had to start over many times, pull yourself back up, get back on your feet. I just feel like there's been a lot of difficulties on this journey, lots of trials and hardships that you have, in fact, sustained yourself through. You've made it through them. And Spirit is saying you've gone through all of that, not to just be complacent, but there's more. There's more fulfillment waiting for you, for the work that you've done, for the hardships that you've made it through. Like you weren't brought through that just to survive. Like you were created to thrive, Spirit is saying. Yeah, we have the Emperor coming out. You were brought here to be able to, and I'm seeing someone who has when we look at the Ten of Pentacles, it's like you being able to create your own kingdom and maintain that kingdom, maintain the order of that kingdom. The Emperor is very good energy. It's very positive energy. This is about you setting up and governing that which you have been given dominion over, right? Being very responsible. And it's like, to whom much is given, much is required, right? This is not something where, and it's almost like you ever have people that grew up with silver spoons in their mouths, right? It's like they didn't really have to work for anything. Therefore, it's like the concept of hard work comes very difficult to people that have not had to work for it. Maybe you were just given, in this case, things, opportunities. It becomes very difficult to understand the value of what you've been given because you didn't have to work for it. As opposed to someone who wasn't given anything. They had to go out and create opportunities and, build up from the bottom, cultivate, trust in relationships to show that they are worthy of maintaining, whatever it is that they wanted. They had to work for it and prove that they can handle it. Very different, very different situations. But this Emperor shows that there's something that was possibly burdensome, but that was part of showing that you can handle the responsibilities around this. these rewards, these honors that you share or will share. Being very conscious, measuring your actions, not being controlling, not even being harsh when it is maybe deserved in some situations. This is being able to exercise righteousness and fairness and to give honor when honor is due. This is very just energy that we're talking about here. And so for you, there's something that you are coming to. Your life is coming to a point. You're reaching a point where your material prosperity will be combined practically, spiritually, mentally, financially, right? With family and work. Like I was saying, it's almost like you governing your empire through virtue, through justice, and through your own responsibility to care for those that may even be less fortunate. There's just this very integrous energy that I'm feeling here. And knowing your power, exercising your authority righteously. Yeah. The emperor many times is compared to the ultimate father figure. The emperor is a culmination of all of the kings. So it's very masterful energy. And it's on the light side, which means that this is the correct position of the emperor, right? Sometimes when the emperor is upside down, it could be a whole lot of things, but it's not right. Let's see what else. In the near future, we have the Lovers, but it comes out on the downside, the dark side. When we look at the Lovers, we see a man that's reaching down to the actual light side of the card, which shows the balanced side of the Lovers. I almost feel like there's a bit of temptation that's coming towards you here in the near future when we look at the Lovers, and it comes in on the dark side. The Lovers talks about a choice. We were just talking about that with the oracle message. There's a specific choice, either that you have made, will make, or are making right now. This is high level choice, right? You being given this power to exercise the freedom of choice, good or evil, hated or love, stagnated or moving. Through your obedience, through your freedom, through your rebelliousness, this is asking you to choose thoughtfully so that you can embrace the decision and its consequences, right? Give to the fruit coming through your heart. Mm-hmm. And so being that this came out on the negative side, this is all about you being careful about those choices. In the near future, there may be some things that come through that may threaten to poison gifts and your energy. This may even be being careful not to choose from a selfish place or not allow yourself to be governed by others' selfishness, right? Because this could be you feeling bound to someone else's choices. But true love, because this is the Lover's card, true love it's not controlling, right? True love allows you to choose from your own sense of freedom. Okay. It doesn't require calculation, just really this energy of simplicity and humility. And so there's something about your choice in the future. Be careful that you don't allow it to be tainted, maybe by others' expectations, maybe by selfishness. Allow yourself to really think carefully about your connections and your relationships and how they were created. I'm hearing that. How those relationships were generated and created. There's some choice that will be measured to you in the near future here that you will need to really be careful about and examine right? For some of you, this could be a choice that you've already made that you need to really take a look at. I do see the Three of Wands in the past. It's on the light side. And the Three of Wands is you accepting the challenge. It's time. Sometimes these things come through to shake us out of our complacency. The Three of Wands is all about movement and doing energy, moving forward, expanding, embarking upon journeys and taking actions that involve your talents and initiative and courage that engage inner strength that will foster some type of resolution. There's something about this that says that if you commit to yourself, then you will absolutely win the prize. However, if you allow yourself to stay complacent or to fall back, you'll also get the reward of that action as well. There's something about you being encouraged to move forward. Yes, move forward. Oh, I'm sorry. And that was the Eight of Wands. Eights are all about movement. And then next comes the Three of Wands. Okay. Next comes the Three of Wands, this action that you are being seen in right now. Like there's some special, very important decision that you stand in right now. The next action is going to be the most important one. The next action is going to be the most important one. I hear Spirit saying that right here. And I almost feel like you have been in this energy, like you have felt this need to take life very seriously. That's what have brought you here to this moment, because you've already been in this energy. And now Spirit is saying, don't stop now. Like you have come to this point of engagement here at this point in time. Don't stop now. Keep moving forward. Keep pressing forward. Keep that same energy that brought you to this point. Okay. But you're being seen in the Three of Wands energy. Like there's something very expansive about you right now, about your energy. Very creative too. We have that three coming out again. Something very creative. Something that is being given to you when it comes to creativity. Are you receiving ideas? Is Spirit talking to you? Maybe waking you up in the middle of the night. Maybe the first thing when you get up, Spirit is giving you downloads. It's like, okay, let me get some paper so I can write all of this down. The Ace of Swords comes in on the shadow side, which talks about what's about to happen next is that you are going to have to really take a look at and assess your strengths. Okay. As we look at this card, there's like a grasp, a strong grasp on the actual sword itself, on the blade itself. You're going to have to assess your strengths. And you're going to have to stand. That's why we have sacred rebels. You're going to have to stand in a way that's going to cause you to maybe rebel against something or someone, or those that you have some type of confrontation with. I'm feeling here. You are going to be placed in a situation where you are going to have to demonstrate your power, demonstrate your wit, demonstrate your intelligence. That does not mean that you have to be aggressive or be egotistical or abuse those who try to abuse you or want to start things with you. That's not what that means. That means that you will protect yourself and let people know, don't get it twisted. I may be nice, I may be generous, I may present myself as very respectable, but I will absolutely protect myself. Okay. The version of me that you get will very much depend on you. Sometimes you have to let people know that you are not to be played with. For you, there's going to be a situation where you will need to stand in this kind of energy, okay, whatever that is. Because I feel like here in the near future, and this may be something you're dealing with right now, people are trying to exploit your weakness, or there's some form of retaliation that someone is trying to bestow on you. Maybe they have misinterpreted your actions or your words. Maybe they don't understand you in a way that you need to be understood. But there is something where you will need to kind of draw out your strengths and let people know what it is, that you are not to be played with, right? I want to see what this situation is. Why is the Ace of Swords coming out on the shadow side? Why is my viewer going to have to take a stance here? Page of Swords on the shadow side and the Knight of Cups. This could have something to do with gossip. Some type of gossip, of course. And it could be not necessarily negativity. This could be people that are jealous of the good things that are coming in for you. The Knight of Cups is like offerings, opportunities that are being given to you. However, the Page of Swords on the shadow side is a very negative, messy energy, right? It's a messy energy. And so you may need to let people know what it is and what it's not. Right? You may need to even hold your tongue. You may want to say a lot of stuff that is everything but the child of God. But this is really you being controlled, right? Not allowing yourself to be drawn into that negative, messy energy. But also letting people know where they can get off because you don't align with that energy. Like, get away from me. Why are you here, right? Overcoming aggression with wit and favor, intelligence, and just more calm, but letting people know, like, I'm not with the shits, okay? So go on somewhere else with that. I feel that energy immediately right now that could be happening, okay? And let's get just a couple of more and then we're going to end this out. We're an hour in already. We have the Temperance card on the shadow side and the Chariot on the shadow side. I love this for you. I feel like this is also a time where you are having to take a stand in life for what you believe in. There's a lot here about maybe at one point in time you were very dependent on other people's opinions and what other people felt was right for you. But Spirit is bringing you to a place where you can trust yourself. You can trust what you feel, what you want. And whatever that is, Spirit is saying, we got you. We support you. Like, this is why you are being brought to this place in time, is to let you know that you can trust yourself. So the Temperance coming in on the shadow side, maybe something that represents like some type of fear you might have. Well, what if this happens? Or, well, last time when I tried to do this, when we look at the Temperance on the shadow side, this is all about awareness, right? The awareness around how your happiness was maybe dulled, or maybe there were times where you just kind of made yourself small because you took on, the opinions of others more than you realizing what it is that you needed to do for yourself. The Temperance on the shadow side is you asking yourself, it's like a self-evaluation. Are you really free to act and think as you wish? Or are you connected and bound to other people's opinions? And this is really a call to an awakening, right? To realizing the limits that you may have placed on yourself. and maybe what has been taken out of balance because of that. There may be the recognition too of certain things that once was very fulfilling to you in your heart that no longer provides any level of satisfaction. What once represented light now represents dust and ashes. This talks about needing a change. There's physical and psychological arrangements that are necessary, rearrangements that are necessary here with the temperance in reverse. Change is imminent. It's necessary. There's no way around it. Okay. And then we end with the chariot on the shadow side, which is all about you making those changes, moving away with haste, with power, right? You making very powerful movements. Interestingly, on the shadow side, this shows you moving away in your chariot, making those decisions as it pertains to you. Interestingly, in this picture, there's arrows. As this person is moving away in their chariot, there's arrows being thrown at their back. However, that's not stopping them from moving in the direction that they need to move in. A lot of people will not agree with what you decide. This is something that you will need to get used to and be okay with. Okay? For whoever you are. There's something about feeling a lot of regret over past decisions that hinder your ability to move forward with purpose. But we're letting that go. There's also something about clashes and fights that may be caused by those who don't understand you. But even more than that, it's going to be caused by your own sense of indecisiveness. And so that's why it's so important for you to really delve into this energy of finding out what it is that you feel, taking a moment to really be still before you act, not be moved by anger or all of that, temporary energy, but really understand like what it is that you need to do. Really taking a good look even to like who is really with you or against you. Do you have people that are rowing, that are drilling holes in your boat? Right? It's taking a look at what things really are. Okay? As you're moving forward, as you take this stance to start looking within to find out what is actually going to be best for you moving forward. Because those that are for you are they're going to understand that. And when they don't, you have to be okay with that and continue to move forward. I feel like this is where this is bringing you. Because what's for you is really for you. And you don't need people to agree with that. This is about your legacy, what has been invested for you. Okay, just pulling a couple of oracle cards from my hidden wisdoms realms. I have the High Lord of Gratitude and Service, the Lady of the Gift, the Camel Boy, and the Swan Queen. I do feel like you are entering into a time, or you could automatically be a person who is very selfless, very humble. I'm just feeling this very soft, humble energy. Someone who is very conscious of the choices that they make and how they affect others. Keep that energy. I feel like that's working for you. And that could absolutely be in alignment with where you're going, what you are being called to do. This energy that is being manifested in and around your life as it pertains to your purpose. the lady of the gift. There's something that you come to give. I feel like you could be someone who is very generous. Also someone that needs to learn how to receive. You have a hard time receiving. Spirit wants you to learn how to receive and when to withhold. You also are a big giver, and Spirit wants to balance that out within you. This may be a time where Spirit is asking you to open up to receiving. I'm getting the Empress energy. Instead of giving, allow yourself to receive. Someone has a difficult time receiving. But Spirit is about to pour back into you everything that you've poured out, that you've yet to see return. Spirit is about to pour back into you. There's something too about not having to go from A to Z. Like, this is happening very strategically, very methodically. Spirit is saying, don't feel like you have to jump from A to Z. Like, be okay with taking steps at a time, one step at a time. And don't be afraid to ask for help with the Camel Boy. 33. There's something about you learning here. Number one, that it's okay to be who you are. There's no mistake about who you've been created to be. That's very purposeful. But there's something about you also learning how to receive. This is a teaching moment for someone. Someone is learning major lessons right now in life. Major lessons are unfolding right now in life. Don't be afraid to ask for help. This is someone that needs to learn how to receive help. How to receive, period. You're so used to being the giver. Spirit wants you to learn how to receive. Transformation comes in with the Swan King. Yeah, things are changing right now as we speak. You are in transition. I don't know how that's feeling from your side. It could be very comfortable, uneasy, but things are transitioning from one state to another. There are things that are changing, but there are things that are changing that are more aligned with who you are authentically. Things outside of you and around you, circumstances are changing, not necessarily who you are at a core. But I feel like you are actually becoming more acquainted and trusting your intuition more too. Things are changing to align so that you can understand yourself more. And so this requires some patience, okay? You may have been very patient up until this point. And Spirit is saying it has not been for nothing. It will make sense if you trust it. Yeah. So I feel overall this is about you entering into a place in life where you will have this sense of autonomy. Like, what does that look like for you? Where you're going? If you could create this empire where you run things, right? What would that look like? Because Spirit is saying and bringing that into being for you. In the future, the Emperor is here. Things may very well end up being what you say they are. I feel like that really is the energy. And you can be trusted. This type of power is not just given to anybody, right? For some, it's an illusion of power. For you, I really think it's going to be an embodied power for whoever you are. I feel a high sense of selflessness with you. Very very heavy level of humility, a very humble spirit. That's what I'm feeling. And someone who is very tapped in and very aware of themselves. I don't feel like you operate unconsciously. I don't feel like you operate out of your ego. You may be asking, well, why has things been so difficult for me? Why have I felt like I've had to be dragged through the mud? It's to bring you to this place so that you can hold this power, and the power will not hold you. Okay? So that's what I have here. Someone is being ushered into a very beautiful place. where things will make sense. For some of you, this is about maybe even an opportunity to break generational curses, to make a new progressive segment to your bloodline. Okay. This does require that you trust yourself and look within. Trust yourself more than anything or anybody else. This may feel like a very dark time, but out of the darkest moments comes our greatest gifts. I've learned that. So trust yourself and trust what you are feeling. Trust what you're feeling. I keep hearing Spirit say that. Even in the past, you're like, I've trusted what I felt, and it's always led me to disappointment. Well, if there's something about this that's different, Spirit is guiding this. You're at a point in life where things are being cracked open. There's something very mystical about where you are right now, something very tapped in to your lineage, your bloodline, your ancestries, your legacy. There's something purposeful about this. This is different, Spirit is saying. So trust what you're feeling. For some of you, you're not just tapping into your emotions, but you're actually tapping into your intuition. Spirit is saying this is different, okay? That's what I have for you. I hope this makes sense. Like, share, comment, subscribe if you feel led.